Hi everyone, today we are looking at TONG SA2. All right, so as you can see over here, this is a P5 paper. All right, so without any further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to start from the back. Okay, I want to start from the back page instead of the front page. Okay, why is it I want to start from the back? Because the questions at the back is usually the ones that requires a bit more help. Make sense? As compared to the ones in front. So as you can see over here, it says what? The table below shows the charges for renting a what? Bicycle. For renting a bicycle. Very good. So to rent a bicycle, these are the prices that you are going to pay. When I see a question like that, I first want to identify my concept. Okay, what concept do you think this is called? This is called a rate concept. R-A-T-E. Okay, so write this down. This is called a rate concept. This is called a rate concept. Okay, that is very, very important. That is your first step. Now, if you're renting the bicycle from Monday to Friday, what happens is that you will pay $5 per hour if you rent it from what to what PM. You can see over there, the timing that they have given to you is 9 to 5 PM. True? Right, from 9 to 5 PM, you have to pay $5 per hour. And if it's 5 PM to 8 PM, then you will have to pay how much? $7 per hour. Now, who is this person? This person is called John, right? So John, what happens, John? John rented a bicycle from what time to what time? 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on a Sunday. On a Sunday means you need to fix your eyes here. Am I making sense or not making sense? You need to fix your eyes this part. Correct or not? So every hour is $8. Am I making sense? Well, I guess by now you all should know. Right, from 10 a.m. all the way to 1 p.m., this is a total of, we get to 11 a.m., we get to 12 p.m. You can see over here how many bunny hops are there. 3 bunny hops. That means to say it's 3 hours. Understand? So $8 per hour, 3 hours, that basically gets me to $24. All right, so you can see this question A definitely is something that you can solve. Okay, let there be no confusion. This is a rate concept. Am I making sense? Now, when I go on to the next one, it says that on Tuesday, Ken rented a bicycle and returned it at 7 p.m. So we know the end time, but we don't know what is the start time. However, we know that it is on a what day? Tuesday. So Tuesday, I have to fix my eyes on this. Maybe you know what? I shall use another color so that you all know what I'm referring to. Okay? Okay, so I will just draw my timeline in red color as well. I'll just change all of this to red color. Okay, so on Tuesday, 7 p.m., $29. Correct, not true? So what we want to do is to ask ourselves, okay, if it's 7 p.m. means there is a period whereby he is using this part. Am I making sense? There is also a period whereby he's using the first one. Am I making sense? So we are going to get to what? How many hours first? We are going to get to 5 p.m. first. Why? Why are you getting to 5 p.m.? Because over here we can see that from 5 to 8 p.m. is $7 per hour. So for this, how many hours is it? 2 hours. True? Right? So it's 7 times 2. That gets me to an answer of $14. Make sense? Did he pay $14? No. What was the amount that he paid? 29. So we have to move backwards again. Am I making sense or not making sense? Right? Yes or no? Right? So over here, this amount over here will be $29 minus away $14. That gets me to how much? $15. True? Remember just now we said 1 hour, how much is it in an hour? In an hour, it is how much? $5. True? So if 1 hour is $5, how many hours will add up to $15? Very good. So how do I get from here to here, right? We all know that this is 3 hours. Agree or disagree? Well, what did the question say? What was the earliest time he rented the bicycle? Let's go back 3 hours. True? Can see? 4, 3, 2 p.m. was the time that he rented the bicycle. Well, in the next question, it says that all 43 students from a class were assigned to welcome visitors at a school event, right? Just like how the Pope came to, or went to Catholic High GC, right? You saw how they all stood in front at the foyer there, right? To welcome, right? So that's what is happening. Maybe this is during COVID period whereby, you know, safe distancing is necessary, okay? All right, so that's the reason why there's a gap, well, I guess the question I have for you all first, right, is what concept is this? Can we maybe just ask ourselves, what concept is this? Well, from here itself, I'm pretty sure. Sorry, not almost like a pattern, but let me start with the topic first. This is a whole numbers. Let me say this again. I say this again. This is a whole numbers concept. Whole numbers concept. Okay. Sorry, I apologize. Whole numbers topic. Okay, concept-wise, this is a gaps and interval. Gaps and interval, right? Whereby the number of gaps is always one less than the number of items. Agree so far? Well, how would you rate this? Do you think this is very difficult, easy, or medium?
It's just the difference of
Correct.
this times one.
Yeah. Okay, I would say this is around medium level. This is around medium level. And don't be afraid of difficulty questions. I will show you, when it comes to difficulty questions, actually, they are low-key, easier to solve. Okay, they are low-key easier to solve. Okay. All right. Now, so let's read this question first. It says that there are 43 students. If there are 43 students, how many gaps are there?
42.
Thank you. And our job when it comes to a gaps and interval is to always find the number of gaps. Understand? And to always find what is one gap. One gap is your Mr. Greenman. Okay, so there are 43 students.
But
you want to
they
note
already
down
gave
over
us
here?
one.
Good. That's awesome, right? They told us that one gap, so one gap is 2 students. I'll just put 2s. It actually goes to 1.2 meters. Is this something that you can understand? Okay. All right. So that is the first part that you want to work on. That's the first part that you want to work on. Okay. Okay. Now, they will line up in a row from one end to the other end of a corridor at an equal spacing of what? 1.2 meters apart. Can see or cannot see? Well, the question says, how long was the corridor? Well, really obvious to you, right? How many students are there? But can I say times 43? No, right? I just have to do, yeah, that's the reason why teacher Joseph kept saying, hey, it's very important they write down all of these things. Can you all see it? All right, so from here to here, you just times 42. All right, so when I do something to the left, I must do something to the right. Okay, when I do 1.2 times 42, when I do 1.2 times 42, all right, over here, you get to 50.4 meters. Okay, so the length of the corridor is 50.4 meters, and that's your answer for this question. Okay. Well, on the day of the events, 6 of the students did not turn up. What does that mean to you? The 6 students decided to, okay, maybe they are sick. Let's assume that they are sick. Is that okay? They did not come. Okay. But you see, when these 6 students did not come, what happens is that you realize, let's say, imagine I have the students all lined up like that, right? Now what happens? Yeah, these 2 students, then the gap in between them will be a little different right now. Agree or disagree? Right? So let's ask ourselves, how many students were there? Let's first find out how many students were there. We had 43 at first.
37.
And we minus away 6. Very good. When you do 43 minus away 6, you are now left with 37 students. Agree or disagree? But you have to take note, right, of this one thing, is that the length of the corridor remains the same. Make sense or don't make sense? The length of the corridor remains the same, right? So instead of saying 37 students equals to 50.4, now we are going to change it to 36 gaps. True or not? If I have 37 students, isn't it true that I have 36 gaps? Do you think the length of the corridor will still be 50.4? The length of the corridor, I'm not saying the space between each person. The length of the corridor is still the same, right? True? Very good. Okay.
So it's 50.4 divided by 36.
Yes, to find what? Because they ask you one new spacing between every 2 students. That means to say they are asking for one gap. Agree or disagree? All of these things you must note it down, okay? So that from here, you know where you're headed towards. Okay, the vision is that you know, okay, I'm going towards this side. All right, you understand what I'm saying? All right, okay. Over here, we divide by 36. We divide by 36. Okay, all right. So over here, we are going to do 50.4 divided by 36. Am I making sense? Okay, you punch the calculator, you get to an answer of 1.4 meters. Okay, all right, and that is the reason why the new spacing, right, is 1.4 meters, and previously it was 1.2 meters. So you can see that there is a difference of 0.2. Okay, so that's how you would solve a gaps and interval question. Now, on question number 15, we are looking at patterns. Okay, what you can see over here, it says that the first 4 figures of a pattern are shown below. Agree or disagree? Okay, what happens is that they are telling us that the number of white triangles, you can see for yourself, the number of white triangles starts with what? 1, followed by the next one, 3. After that, 6. Where got 5? 6, right? Isn't it 6? Plus 2 over here, right?
Then plus 3, then
plus 3, plus 4.
plus 5.
Very good. So we plus 5 over here. So over here, that gets me to 15. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, do the same thing for Do the same thing for the next one. 3, then 6, then 10, then 15. So what are the gaps? You must always find the gaps first. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, you must always find the gaps first. Okay, what is the gap from 3 to 6 to 10 to 15? What exactly is the gaps? We can obviously see that it's plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 1 is plus 6. Agree or disagree? All right, that's the reason why your answer is 21. Make sense? Okay, so these are all what we call, okay, for the first one, you can see, right, I am adding them up together. True or not? Okay, now maybe before I go on, right, I just wanted to maybe help you to understand the topic. All of you will know, oh, teacher Joseph, this is number patterns, but what is the concept? What is the concept? Now, there are a few concepts over here. I use the acronym MESSS. You all know how to spell a mess? You all know how to spell mess? Right? Like how your parents will tell you, hey, don't make a mess. You all know how to spell mess? MESS, right? But patterns, to spell the mess, we add another S, okay? All right, what is the first M? What is this? What is this? What is this? And what is this? Actually, no. It's not just... Can see? How many S are there? 4 S, okay? So there are a total of 4, 5, 6, 6 concepts. First M, called multiples. This is a concept. Second one, E stands for equal intervals. S stands for square numbers. Sum of even. Sum of odd. What do I mean by sum of even? That means I add all of the even numbers. Sum means 2 plus, right? When I add, right, all of the numbers are all even. Sum of odd means when I add, all of the numbers are odd. And finally, we have the last one, sum of consecutive. Consecutive means one after another. Okay, one after another. Okay, so make sure the concepts are written down first. Can make sure the concepts are written down first. I know a lot of you know how to do, but make sure concepts are written down. I'm more interested in whether if you know or if you can remember the concepts. You understand? Right? It has to be like a habitual thing, right? Whereby when you look at a question, you first find the concepts. Make sense? Well, then finally, for the total number of triangles, a lot of you will not see. A lot of you will be like, oh yeah, because I'm just gonna find the bunny hop. From here to here is plus 5. From here to here is plus 7. Hey, but I tell you, this is not going to be a good way. Okay? But what is better is this. Watch, 4, 9, 16, 25. All of these are what we call square numbers. And this is also a concept, isn't it true? Can you all see that? So this is the first concept that we are learning over here, right? You can see these are all square numbers, right? What are square numbers? What is 4 made up of? 2 times 2. What is 9 made up of? 16? 25?
5 times 6.
5 times 5. The final one must be?
56.
Isn't that true? And this is extremely, extremely important. Why? Because it really helps you to see. It helps you to find any pattern number. It helps you to find any pattern number.
But what if it's not a pattern? What
If it's not a square numbers, then of course you won't use square numbers, right? Then you will use, whichever other concepts that I've given to you. Understand so far? All right. So for the total, you can use square number. But for number of gray square, can you use square number? Cannot. You cannot use square number for number of gray square. You understand? For number of white square, can you use square number? Cannot. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, right. So
only
let's...
for the total?
Sorry, only for the total in this question. Not every question, but in this question, okay? Now, let's read the next one. A figure in the pattern has a total of what? You see, the moment they say total, you know already, oh, they want us to use square numbers, right? So I'm just going to show it to you. I love to list down different examples, like figure 1. Figure 1, can you all see is 2 to the power of 2?
2 times 2.
Very good. 2 to the power of 2 means 2 times 2. Make sense? Figure 2 is 3 to the power of 2. Figure 3, maybe you go to figure 3 first. Figure 3 is how many? What to the power of 2? 4 to the power of 2. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Figure 4 is 5 to the power of 2. Are you starting to see it?
Then 5 is 6 to the power.
But correct. So the reason why teacher Joseph is listing this down is because these are what we call examples. Right? These examples will help me for this question. Agree or not? 144 triangles is something to the power of 2 equals to 144. Am I making sense? So what to the power of 2 equals to 144? Why do I say that? Because you see 2 to the power of 2 is 4, right? 3 to the power of 2 is 9. 4 to the power of 2 is 16. 5 to the power of 2 is 25. True?
Yeah.
So they want us to find the figure number, right? So what to the power of 2 is 144. Very good. Make sense? But is 12 my figure number? No. Why is that so? Okay, once you're done writing, then I'll go on. Why is it 12? All of you can say, oh yeah, it's 12 to the power of 2. Very good. And a lot of you will say, hey, yeah, then the figure number is 12. But no, we realize that that is not true. Why is that so? Because you see, if it's 12 to the power of 2, it's like, for example, I can liken it to this, right? Can you see 3 to the power of 2? What figure is it? Figure number 2. The figure is 1 less than the number here.
Then it's 11.
Thank you. So figure number 11. Figure number 11 will have 144 triangles. Now, in figure 50, how many white triangles are there? So where is this that they are referring to? Figure 50. Can you all see that? How many white triangles they are asking you for this question mark? Can I understand? Can I find the total first? Can we find in figure number 50, what is the total? Can we find what is the total for figure number 50? You all know, right? Somebody, yeah, you tell me. Yeah. What is the total for figure number 50? Don't worry, just pen it down first. It's okay. I'm not rushing you for the answer. You write down whatever you need to write first in order for you to get to the answer. Okay, when we talk about total, what is it going to be?
Something.
Something to the power of 2, right? Correct now. What is that something? Let's use we use smaller examples to help us, Can we use our smaller examples? Okay, our dwarf examples, So it's when I have figure 2, it's 3 to the power of 2. When I have figure 3, it's 4 to the power of 2. When I have figure 4, it's 5 to the power of 2. So when I have figure 50, I go 51 to the power of 2. Am I making sense or not making sense? Okay, in this situation, you get to 2601. Make sense or don't make sense? So you want to write down 2601 over here. This is 51 times 51. Okay, make sure all of these things are noted down even in the table. All right, so you create your own column. Okay. Now I want to show you all something. Okay, I want to show you all something. I know a lot of you will be like, oh my goodness, how am I supposed to find my white triangles when they are giving us figure 50? Can I show you all something? Can everyone eyes on the screen, please? Put down whatever you're doing first. Okay, it's okay. I will give you all time to write later. But I want you all to learn to listen first. Watch. I will use my dwarf examples, okay, my small examples. I'm just going to show it to you over here. Eyes on the screen. For figure number 1, right? My number of white squares and my number of gray squares, what is their difference? Okay, can you see the yellow one that I've written over here? For figure number 2, what is their difference? 3. 4. Oi? 5. Oi? What does that mean to you? What is the relationship? What is the relationship between the difference here and the number here? What is the relationship between 3 and 2?
If you multiply it, it's 6.
What is their difference? It's just a difference of 1, right? True? What does that mean to you? What will the difference be for figure 50? What would the difference be for figure number 50? This arrow beside 50, 51. Why? Because you see, if it's figure 5, it's 6. Figure 4 is 5. Figure 3 is 4. Figure 2 is 3. One more time, Figure 5 is 6. Can you all see that? Figure 4 is 5. Figure 3 is? So figure 50 is 51. So their difference is between what and what? The white and the gray. And I know that my white and the gray, when I add them up together, it gets me to how much? Can you all see over here the grand total? What is the grand total? Dong, 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 dong. 2601. And I know that their difference is how much?
So is it 2601
divided by 2, exactly, right? So we can kind of draw a model, white and gray. Which one is more? We don't know, right? In this situation, we don't know, right? Or do we know? Do we know or we don't know? Okay, don't worry. Then in that case, since you don't know, then we will just have it in
But
this manner first, right?
maybe the gray triangle is bigger because for all the other ones.
Yeah, you see, that's where I need you to think. Very good. Well done. The gray is always bigger in all of my dwarf examples. Am I making sense? The gray is always bigger. That's the reason why your gray has to be the bigger one. Am I making sense or not making sense? You understand now? You understand now? So patterns is like what Bruce Lee has said. Be like water. Bruce Lee. You don't know who is Bruce Lee? Now, be like water. That means to say, whatever patterns comes your way, you react accordingly. You understand? You understand? All right. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So you have to make sure you be like water in this question, right? Or in fact, in patterns, it really requires you to kind of think outside the box. Okay. All right. So from here itself, you're gonna do 2601 minus away 51. We get to 2550. And then we are going to do 2550 divided by 2. Am I making sense or not making sense? All right, and I will get to 1275. Which one is 1275? 1275 is this part and this part. Correct or not? Okay, the question is asking us for my height. So that is the reason why your answer for this question has to be 1275. Next question. Next question. There are some books on shelf. Now, before I go on to that, right? Okay, I obviously know this is a fractions topic. Agree so far? What concept is this? All of us should know by now. ROR. What type? A, B, or C? Definitely not C. Definitely not C. So I will just put A/B. Make sense or don't make sense? Difficult or easy? I'll say this is considered easy, right? Or maybe some if you have not learned before, definitely you will find this to be difficult. Okay, but if you have learned from me, definitely it will be easy. Okay. Now, so over here, what you can see, right? What you can see is this, is that 1/3 of the books are. In fact, what I prefer to do is to draw a number bond. Because a number bond really helps me to see a lot of things. Okay. All right. So there are some books on the shelves. On the shelves. I apologize. I have some fiction books. And the rest are what? Non-fiction. For fiction is 1/3. The rest, that means the hidden information. What is my hidden information? Make sense or don't make sense? Let's go on to sentence number 2, okay? 5/7 of the non-fiction books are. So we go to our non-fiction. Since we know it's 2/3, what are we going to do? Out of these 2/3, how many is English?
It's 27.
27. Where got 27?
No, 7 minus 2. 5 7 is 2 7. And so 2/7 is 16.
Okay, wait. I want to do 5/7 first times 2/3. Am I making sense? Why am I multiplying? Because over here, the keyword is the word of. So we go 5/7 times 2/3. This is the English non-fiction. I say that again, English non-fiction. I'll get to 10/21. This goes to show that the 21 has to be the denominator, correct? But whatever you see over here, whatever fractions you see over here, they are all already simplified by the teacher, by the setter of the question. Can understand the examiner, right? So if I know that English, okay, you see, they say 5/7 of the non-fiction books are English books, and the remaining 16 non-fiction books are in other languages. So this is other languages. Am I making sense? What is the other languages? Well, we don't know, but we can do 2/3 minus away 10/21. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? All right. When I do that, I'll get to an answer of 4/21. What I like to do is I want to make sure the denominators are all the. Can you all see this? So 14/21. 7/21. What is on my shelf? 21/21. Okay, I hope, right, this is very clear for you. You know what is it that they are really looking for. Can? Now, we also know that this 4/21 has a value of what? 16, right? Because they say remaining 16 non-fiction are in other languages. Am I making sense or not making sense? So in terms of your first question, the first question says that what fraction of the books on the shelf are English non-fiction book? Cast your eyes on your English non-fiction. Non-fiction, English, Isn't it true that they are just getting us to find this part over here? Agree or disagree? And that is the reason why my answer is 10/21. Okay, and with that, I can move on to option number B. Can? Now, how many non-fiction books are there on the shelves? Very simple. We'll start with 4 units being 16 first. Can you all see that? How do I know that? Because I can see this part. Do you all agree or disagree? Can you all see this part? Can see or cannot see? What we want to do is we want to find a unit first, right? 16 divided by 4, we get to 4. Make sense or don't make sense? Okay, very good. So how many fiction books are there on the shelves? What is it that I want to find? How many fiction books are there on the shelves? How many units am I going to look at? I can see that they are getting us to find this 7/21, which is 7 units. Make sense or don't make sense? Right, so 4 times 7, that gets me to an answer of 28. And therefore, this is my answer for this question. Well, in the next question, this is definitely under this topic called volume. Concept-wise, can somebody tell me what is the concept for this? Thank you very much. Cutouts. Under volume, there are many concepts, right? We use the acronym Dr. V's. Okay, you might want to practice. Make sure that this is almost like brushing teeth, right? It's so natural that whenever you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth first, correct? Make it like that. Whereby when it comes to solving a math question, it has to be so natural to you that you need to make sure you identify your concept. You understand what I'm saying now? All right, Dr. V's kiosk people. Dr. V's kiosk people, watch this, drawing. Rate of liquid. Volume. Okay, you can go short form, internal transfer constant total, same height. Okay, I'll just go short form. Same water level, cut out, painted faces. In this situation, the question is trying to test us how to do cutouts. Am I making sense or not making sense? The question is trying to test us how to do cutouts. An open rectangular box measuring 80 cm by 50 cm by 72 cm is shown below. The box is packed full of 1 centimeter cube. So I'm putting 1 cm here, 1 centimeter cube over here. Now, whenever we do cutouts, I always tell my students, right? Can you do volume of the in this situation, the big box divided by volume of the small box? No. That is a big no. What do we have to do? Very good. Find the number of cubes that I can put on the length. Number of cubes on length. How many cubes are there on the length? 80 divided by 1, that gets me to 80. Number of cubes on the breadth. How many cubes are there on the breadth? 50 divided by 1, that gets me to 50. Number of cubes on the height. 72 divided by 1, I get to 72. Units. Am I making sense? Well, from here itself, you can see obviously you want to find the total, right? So the total number of cubes, you do not add, because if you add, you're just saying that you're just finding this, and this. But we want how many cubes can I put inside the box. Agree so far? So we are actually talking about the volume. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to do 80 times 50 times 72. And you'll get to an answer of 288,000. Remember, put a comma over here. Cubes. Okay, and that's your answer for this question. Well, the next question is about angles, correct? Okay, question 11. Now, the question is telling us that ABCD is a rhombus. Well, the moment you see that it's a rhombus, you got to be extremely careful. Let me say this again. If it's a rhombus, you need to quickly write down zebra cannot fly, right? So we know that if this is a rhombus, then this is parallel. This is parallel to this. Make sense? This and this is the same. This and this is the same. Make sense or don't make sense? They are all the same. Now, what I want to do is I want to find my ADB first. Where's A, D, and B? It's basically this question mark over here. Do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree? Right, that is my A, D, B.
Oh wait, this is an isosceles triangle. So it's just 180 minus 55 divided by 2.
Very good. Right, to find angle ADB, I will just have to do 180 degrees minus away 55 degrees. All right. And I will get to 125 degrees. Sorry, I have to divide by 2 over here. I'll just write down divide by 2. When you do that, you'll get to 62.5 degrees. And this is because, like what she said, an isosceles triangle. Which is an isosceles triangle? This is the isosceles triangle that we are talking about. Right, so over here is 62.5 degrees. Okay, so that is the first part to this question. Now for the second part, they want us to find BDE. Okay, for the second part, they want us to find BDE, right? Where exactly is BDE? Let's note it down first. Okay, I'm going to color code this. BDE. Okay, in fact, we already know this as 62.5. So we want to write down this as 62.5. Where is BDE? BDE is this part over here. Can you see it? Can you see it? All right, it's this part over here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to note down everything I can first. I know that this is also 62.5. True? Does that make sense to you? Make sense? All right. I also know that this is how much? 55. True? And they even told us that this is a 90 degree. DEC is 90 degree. According to the question, you know? So I can actually find out what is this part here. True or not? I will find angle EDC first. EDC is actually equals to 180 degrees minus away 90 degrees minus away 55 degrees. Make sense or don't make sense? Okay, when you do that, you get to an answer of 35 degrees. Where is 35 degrees? This is 35 degrees. Make sense or don't make sense? Can I understand or don't understand? But I am not looking for the black color one. I'm looking for the one in pink. True? I'm looking for the one in pink. So let me ask you a question. What is this blue color part? That means the pink plus the black. That gets me my blue. What do you think is that blue color part? What do you think is that blue color part? No, it's not 55. But can I just show you my Z angle? Can you all see your Z angle? Can see your Z angle? You cannot see. Can see your Z angle?
Also 62.
Correct.
The pink one is
Correct. Correct. Am I making sense? So this blue color one is actually 62.5. Agree or disagree? Right? So to find my pink color one, I will just have to say angle BDE is actually equals to 62.5 minus away 35 degrees. All right, so when I do that, I'll get to an answer of 27.5. In fact, before this, I should have written down that angle, what is that angle? Angle BDC, yeah? Make sure you write down angle BDC is actually equals to 62.5. Reasoning for this, very simple. We call that alternate angle. Okay, alternate angle. All right, so yep, that's how you would do a question like this. Question number 10 is an average question, so make sure you write down the topic first. All right, make sure you write down the topic. Okay. From here itself, what you can see, okay, is that the number of books read by how many students? 40 students, right? So 7 plus 8 plus 15 plus 10. 7 plus 8 plus 15 plus 10 is actually equals to 40. The question wants us to find the number of books read by each student, right? And they told us that the average number of books read by the students is 70. 7, right? So if the average is 7, the number, there are 40 students. Very good. What is the total number of books read? 7 times 40. Make sense or don't make sense? Okay, that is my A and T first. That is the first part that you want to work on. Okay. All right. So you have your A and T out. Okay. You get to 280 in total. 280 books in total. Okay. Well, what you want to do next is to find out the number of books read by each student for these 10 students. Can you all see that? Can you all see that? Okay, so we look at the first one. You realize that in the first one, right, there are no books read by each student, correct or not? True? So we just ignore this part, right? So this 280 is made up of what? It's made up of this one over here, which is 5 times 8. Am I making sense? Which is equals to 40. Because you see, number of books read by each student. So one student read 5, right? So 8 students means 40. Correct? Now, the second one will be 8 times 15. Agree so far? That gets me to 120. Make sense? So what do you think is the last one? The last one must be something times 10. True or not? All right, something times 10, something times 10. Our job is to find the question mark. True? All right, it's equals to 280 minus away 40 minus away 120. Something times 10 is equals to 280 minus 40 minus 120. We get to an answer of 120. So how do I find this question mark over here? I will just have to, yeah, that's all. All right, 120 divided by 10, we will get to an answer of 12. Okay, so the number covered by the ink block, so this is 12. Make sense? This is 12. Make sense or don't make sense? Okay, so this is average. And that's how you would solve a question like this. Now we are looking at question number 9. And question number 9, as you can see over here, it says that figure ABCD. Where is ABCD? ABCD. Oh, wow. Okay, so they are referring to A to B, B to C, C to D. I apologize, I missed out on the E part. They are referring to this entire thing as how much? What is the area? 2140. I don't know if you realize that there is an overlapping part. Can you all see that there's an overlapping part? Okay, maybe I just show it to you first. Okay, this is one rectangle, one triangle. Can you all see this one triangle? Okay, I can see another triangle. This is also another triangle. Can you all see it? Can see? I can also see another triangle, a slanted triangle, in fact. Can you all see the slanted triangle? Can see a slanted triangle? So this is the height. True, because a slanted triangle, I always have to dot it out. True. And then this is the base. Okay? All right. Y'all can see the triangles, right? Okay. Yeah. They told us that ABD and CBE are what lines? Straight lines. True? Straight lines. And they want us to find the shaded part, which is this part over here. Can y'all see it? Can see? So whenever there's overlapping, what I want to do is to label them. Let's call this A, let's call this B, let's call this C, shall we? Our job is very clear. Our job is to find out what is, again, as you can see over there, our job is to find out what is B. Understand so far? Which is the shaded. Correct or no? Correct, huh? Now, shall we do it together? Let's find the area of what I said just now. Maybe I will just highlight for you to see. I'm going to find the area of this triangle. Can you all see this triangle? Can you see this triangle? I'm going to find the area of this triangle first. All right, how do I find area of this triangle? Area of this triangle is called triangle ADE. Can you understand or don't understand? Okay, area of ADE. From here itself, what you can simply do is half times 78 times 42. Okay, half times 78 times 42. We get to an answer of 1638. Make sense or don't make sense? And this 1638 is A plus B. Right? What do I mean by A plus B? Can you see I labeled then A plus B? Right? Why is that so? Because this concept, all right, this is called an area and perimeter topic. Agree or disagree? And then there is this concept called overlapping. Overlapping. Understand? Whenever it's overlapping, we always want to make sure we label the individual triangles. Can you all see that? Once I'm done with this, I can find the next part. Okay, I'm just going to highlight for you to see the next triangle that I aim to find. The next triangle that I aim to find is actually this triangle over here. Very good. Very good. So the area, okay, I will just use blue color. So blue color basically means for the blue triangle, okay? Area of triangle CDE is actually equals to half times 42 times 40. Okay, all right. When you do half times 42 times 40, you get to an answer of 840. Make sense? Okay, you get to an answer of 840. And 840 is made up of C plus B. C plus B. Okay? Can you understand? And what is the question trying to tell you? The question is trying to tell you, as you can see over here, the area of the shaded triangle, what? BDE. Where is BDE? BDE is actually this triangle over here. Can you all see BDE is this triangle over here?
68 minus 8.
Correct. Very good. Can you all see why? Because you see, if, okay, maybe for those of you who do not see it, okay, if A plus B is equals to 1638, right, and we have C plus B which is equals to 840, what happens is that we want to find what? We just want to find which one? B, right? We just want to find B, isn't that true? Isn't that true? Make sense or don't make sense? So we are just going to add them up together first. We are going to add them up together. We will get to A plus C plus 2B. Agree so far? All right. So 1638 plus 840. One more time. A plus C plus 2B equals to 1638 plus 840. We get to 2478. Can you understand? And what we want to do is we want only what? What do we want? What do we want? We just want, tell me. We just want B. What is the value of B? Did you realize? Actually, we got something over here, which is the area of 2140, correct or not? Area of 2140 is what? Oh. It's A plus B plus C. Make sense or don't make sense? Right? So I'm just going to put it over here. All right. A plus B plus C. Where's my B and C? Okay. All right. So I will just put A plus C plus B. Okay. All right. How much is it? 2140, right? Correct or not? And I just want B, right? So my A cancel A, C cancel C. 2B minus B becomes B. Yay! I got to my answer for B. Am I making sense or not making sense? All right. So when you minus this 2478 minus away 2140, you get to 338. And therefore, this is your answer for this question. Hi everyone, if you like this video, you can click right here for a similar video, or you can view our playlist here.